Fangirl Nerd Duo. I'm Karrie.
I'm Frank.
And today we have a very special guest with us. This is Charles. You may know him as Charlie in Westeros. He is a huge Game of Thrones fan, and he has his own YouTube channel where he reviews the show, posts his theories. So today we are going to be talking about Game of Thrones. A huge episode just passed for Game of Thrones, The Door. So we're going to be talking about Season 6 so far, and Game of Thrones as a whole. If you're not caught up on Season 6 of Game of Thrones, be warned, this is your spoiler warning.
R plus L equals J, I think.
I don't know what that means, so...
Frank doesn't watch the show. We're going to try to convince him with this episode that he should watch it.
God, Frank, you really have to start watching the show. There's so much we could
So much we could talk about, and we will talk about, and you're just going to know nothing about it.
You'll know nothing like you know now. Nothing.
Meh.
A lot has happened so far in Season 6, and I think now we've pretty much ventured off of what's happened in the books.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. We're way past the books now. I think we should try convincing Frank why Game of Thrones is so awesome.
Okay, so point number one that I think you'll be very interested in, Game of Thrones has a lot of sex and nudity.
A lot.
A lot of sex. So why can't I just watch porno then?
Because it's HBO. It's tasteful porn.
It's tasteful porn.
It's
okay.
It's plot-driven porn.
And it makes it okay to watch porn.
Why is that
Because
point
it's-
number one?
Because I just think it's something that you would enjoy.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of boobies.
I'm more of an ass guy, but... Okay, point number two.
Point number two. So I know that you're a huge fan of those time traveling type movies, like Back to the Future. Is that the one? Yeah.
Yeah.
So as of last episode, we just discovered that there's a time travel element to Game of Thrones, basically.
Okay.
Which is, you know, kind of cool. It's like a little bit of sci-fi in there, which is something maybe you'd find interesting.
There's some magical elements.
Magic.
They're one of the gods that some of the population worships is the Lord of the Light, which has a lot of magical elements compared to the new gods and the old gods.
Yeah.
So there's time travel like Back to the Future.
Yeah.
And there's magic like Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a lot of hot guys.
Why would... I don't care for that
Fine.
part.
There are a lot of hot girls.
There's superhero type elements. Bran is kind of like a superhero who sometimes kills his friends, but we won't get into that too much. Yeah, he's kind of like
Hold
a
the door!
Hold the door. Rest in peace, Hodor.
Rest in peace.
And Summer. And Shaggy Dog.
Okay, can we
And
just take a
Osha.
second to rant about all the direwolves that have died so far in the series?
Okay, Frank, you like dogs, right?
Yes.
So you assumedly like direwolves too, right?
Sure.
Oh, maybe that's a bad point though.
I think that's
yeah,
gonna
Because
never
they
mind.
might die afterwards, from what I'm hearing.
Well, a few of them have anyway.
Lady has died.
Yeah, season 1 she dies.
Grey Wind has died.
Season 3.
Shaggy Dog is apparently now dead.
As is Summer.
Can't believe that they showed Shaggy Dog's head
I was so mad
severed.
about that.
And now Summer's dead. And how infuriating was Summer's death? Basically, she jumped into the fray, but she didn't actually attack any of the whites.
Summer a girl?
Anyway, my point is, I feel for those direwolves. I'm so heartbroken at their deaths. Let's just hope that Ghost stays alive.
And hopefully Nymeria.
And hopefully Nymeria comes back. There are some very strong characters in the show.
There are.
Strong male characters, strong female characters.
Especially this season, lots of strong female characters.
Definitely. I think this season is like the rise of the female characters.
Definitely. Definitely.
So since I haven't said much, let me ask a question. Who are your favorite characters on the show?
My favorite show characters, definitely, well, I prefer them in past tense, because, actually no, only one's dead, technically. So Robb Stark was my favorite character from season 1 to 3. Big fan of Daenerys and Ser Davos. Those two probably the remaining characters that are still alive that I really, really love. There are a few other characters, of course, that I liked, but they're all kind of dead at this point. So I think the really, the ones that are worthwhile mentioning is Davos, Robb, and Daenerys.
Nice. I think for me, Marjorie, who thankfully is still alive, Daenerys, and Oberyn.
Oberyn.
I miss him so much. Look, there's a little version of him here. So
He's
cute.
definitely one character who died way too soon. He was awesome.
On the show, the Sand Snakes have been kind of disappointing.
Yeah,
I feel
especially
like-
if you're a book reader, it's...
Yeah, I feel like in the books they were built up to be so much better.
Are the sand snakes like those snakes in Beetlejuice?
They're like trouser snakes, but female. Like
The
what's-
sand snakes are the bastard daughters of Oberyn
Yeah.
and all of his multiple lovers.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, I don't know anything about Game of Thrones.
They're all about polygamy down in Doran.
Yeah, they just get down dirty with everything and everyone.
Oh.
They're just out wrecking havoc right now.
Mm-hmm.
They've kind of, spoiler alert, killed off their own family, I guess. Cousins and uncles, so. Yeah, I wonder what's going on in Dorne, because we haven't seen Dorne in a while.
I know. It's a big mystery. We found out that Jon Snow is actually alive after being stabbed to death at the end of season 5.
Who'd have thought it?
Did you see that coming?
Never. Jon Snow come back to life? The idea of Jon Snow not coming back to life would be preposterous. That's what I'm trying to say.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
Especially because Kit Harington is such an integral member of the cast now.
And like
5-6 years in.
And there were all those leaks on set of like pictures allegedly of him doing things, so yeah, I think it's safe to say we all kind of saw it coming.
Yeah, and I guess for book readers too, Jon's death in the books was also a little bit more ambiguous. Because they also play up the lore of the light and that religion more so in the books. So I feel like people had very convincing theories about Melisandre resurrecting Jon, especially because of the Lady Stoneheart storyline, right?
Yeah, she's not in the show right now. I don't think she'll ever come in the show, unfortunately, but it would be cool to have her in there.
It would be cool. You know, at the end of the day, I'm fine with him being alive. I do think that he does represent the ice in the Song of Ice and Fire, and
Exactly.
Daenerys is the fire, so
Absolutely.
they have to, I feel like they're gonna come together soon.
Oh,
in the
definitely.
end.
And didn't you notice, like, when he came back to life, all the wildlings kind of see him as, like, a god? Because it's almost like he did magic, and whereas Daenerys in the last episode, the Dothraki kind of worship her as a god, so it's kind of interesting how those two elements are building up their own following in the respective parts of the world, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I think it's very, 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 very obvious that Daenerys and Jon Snow are, as you said, the Song of Ice and Fire, at least so far anyway.
What do you think is going to happen in the rest of season 6, or what do you want to happen in season 6?
I like that question. So you're asking for my predictions then, basically, right?
Yes.
Well, the number one thing I've always kind of wanted to happen, but how do I phrase this? No, I expect it to happen, actually. And it's also something I've been saying for a long time, and that's I think Cersei is going to burn down King's Landing. If you follow my own channel for like the past 2 years, I've always said that Cersei is going to like lose her shit. Her son Tommen's probably going to die at some point, and at that point she's going to be set off and going to just burn down the whole city. Remember, was it last season? No, season 4 and 5, she at different points has said, like, I'd rather see the city burned to the ground than like see my kids suffer or whatever. She kept saying that over and over again to the point where I think it's like a hint of
Foreshadowing?
It's a foreshadowing, yeah, it's a hint of things to come, obviously.
Interesting.
And remember how her brother stopped the city of King's Landing from burning under the Mads King rule? I think this time he's going to probably... Maybe he'll stop her, but I think in this case she's going to at least try to burn down the city.
But I feel like
that
Jaime is way more rational than Cersei, though.
Yeah, but he's kind of been up her butt this season, to be honest. I also think, and this is not mine, but I have a lot of friends online who have said they think the wall's going to come down this season. I think the wall is either going to come down or the White Walkers are going to get to cross it. Also, the last episode of Game of Thrones, episode 5, when Jon Snow and his like little gang left left Castle Black, he made a comment to Dolorous Edd, who's the current Lord Commander of the Night's Watch, and he basically said, "Oh, don't let the wall come down when I'm gone," or "Don't let the..." Something to the effect of like, "Don't make sure the night stay, or make sure the wall doesn't fall down while I'm gone," basically. And I think that's kind of another hint of things to come for the season. So those are my 2 big predictions so far. Dany isn't going to reach Westeros yet this season, but I think she's going to be about to like leave with the Greyjoys, because I think now that Yara and Theon have the ships, they're going to get to Meereen and they're going to meet her there, and then they're going to just take her over to the west.
I do think Arya's going to find her way back to Westeros eventually, too.
Oh,
I don't
for
think
sure.
she's ever going to be able to let that side of her life go.
So do you think she's going to kind of fail the tests that the Faceless Men have kind of...
I think so. I think she's already been failing.
Yeah.
Especially with that play, too.
Oh, yeah. The reenactment of Ned Stark and all
Yeah,
that.
and the random penis that came up.
Oh, yeah. See, Frank, there's nudity. You get a close-up of a penis. Which apparently had warts, but I don't know.
I did not look very closely to check.
Can I make a prediction?
Go for it.
Sure.
People will die.
Oh, what prediction that is. Actually, the funny thing is that every episode so far in this season, there's been at least one major character who has died. I
So
think
my prediction is right.
well, yeah, basically. No, the Martells died in episode 1. The Boltons was episode 2, I think. A major character has died in every episode, so just saying.
Good prediction, Frank.
Good prediction.
Yay!
Good
for
job,
me.
Frank. I'm really looking looking forward to see what happens to Marjorie and Loras too. In the past episode, Cersei is trying to partner with Lady Olenna to basically bring in the Tyrell army and see if they can stop Marjorie's walk of shame. But you always know when they're very overconfident in a plan that it's never going to go exactly the way that they hoped it would.
Oh, absolutely.
So...
Also, another thing about Marjorie, did you notice that her hair was... This is not my thought, somebody else left this comment, I think, on one of my videos, but Marjorie's hair is still long. They haven't cut her hair off like with Cersei when she did her walk of shame in the clips for next episode. So I think I think you're right. I think
what do you think that means?
Well, I think it's... I don't want to like start rambling too much, but basically I think the High Sparrow kind of set things up in a way that would ensure that the Tyrells and Lannisters would kind of align against him and they would send an army in, but then maybe he'll surprise them with something or somehow.
Interesting.
I think he's going to give them Marjorie back, but I don't think he's going to give them Loras. I think, because remember she was supposed to do her walk of shame and Loras is still in the dungeon, so I think that's kind of their safekeep to make sure that Marjorie fulfills her end of the bargain, whatever that is.
Yeah.
All right. The final question, the most important question of all questions for Game of Thrones. When all is said and done, who do you think should rule on the Iron Throne?
Honestly, I would love to see Marjorie on the throne, but is she a realistic candidate? I don't know. So I would probably go with Dany.
Dany.
Yeah. I mean, she has 3 fucking dragons. How could she not be the one to sit on the Iron Throne? It all comes back to the Targaryens.
Yeah. Come on, dragons. How can you not love dragons? All right, Frank. Now, you don't know very much about Game of Thrones, but who would you like to see sit on the Iron Throne?
Vigo.
I think that's a character in Game of Thrones.
Vigo the Carpathian. Ghostbusters 2.
There was a Ghostbusters.
Blood. Okay.
Frank and his Ghostbuster references.
Na-na-na-na-na.
Do they ever get old?
Na-na-na-na-na-na.
Who do you think should sit on the Iron Throne?
Well, my personal favorite character is also Daenerys, obviously. But I do think she should need a good group of counselors to help her out. And I think Tyrion is definitely one of them who has to be there. I'll even say Davos, I think he should provide some assistance and some guidance in terms of, doing the right thing. Because he seems like a very moral and good person. Like one of the few ones in the entire show, actually. So definitely Davos has to be there. And, I think Jon Snow could be her champion. Although, maybe Jon Snow should rule, considering he's, R plus L equals J,
It's true. True error. Anyway, that's all the time that we have for today.
Already?
Did you have fun here with us?
I did. It was awesome. Thanks so much for having me on your show, guys.
I mean, Frank didn't really say much, but it's probably better that way.
Carrie's friends are probably happy. It's like this one. It's like I got one of those participant reviews.
Yes. You're a winner no matter what you do, Frank.
Right.
If you like this video, make sure you give us a thumbs up or subscribe to our channel. Let us know what you think about the current season of Game of Thrones, what you like about it, what you don't like about it, why Frank should watch it, because he should. Make sure you check out Charlie and his YouTube channel over at Charlie in Westeros. The link will be in the description below.
Well, thanks for having me, guys.
We love having you here.
Aw.
Come back soon. Maybe when the finale comes on for season 6.
Yeah, that'd be kind of fun.
Maybe I'll watch an episode by then.
Maybe you'll watch one episode by then. Watch just the first one.
Just watch the pilot. I think you'll be convinced pretty quickly.
But the pilot, never mind, it's a whole different argument.
Anyway, bye guys!
Winter is coming. You don't watch Game of Thrones?
No.
What's wrong with you? Oh, my sweet summer child, you have much to learn. I don't really like Game of Thrones that much. Maybe just a little bit.
By a little bit, do you mean like this?
Or like this.
What she said.
Oh.